What's going on, guys? We're here talked about college basketball championship game tonight. We got some MLB and we got some NHL going as well. So a lot of sports to review tonight, but obviously the main one being the college basketball national championship between Purdue and UConn. Purdue opened up as 6.5 point underdogs. It has since moved. I've even seen it as high as 7.5, but most people have a 7 point.
He needs to mute his mic.
Yeah, most
Keep going. I'll try to mute him.
Most people have 7 point spread. I lean Purdue in this game. I think Zach Edey has really worked for this. He's really worked to get here. Last season, obviously, we know everything that happened. Second one seed ever to be knocked out in the first round. First team that did that, UVA, ended up winning the national championship the following year. So now we have Purdue in the same spot playing the national championship, but UVA did not have to play a powerhouse like UConn when they won it. So, going to be a great game tonight. I lean Purdue. Huff, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I also lean on Purdue in this spot. You saw it on the card. We got Purdue +7, plus the 250 on the money line, 3.5 unit on that. I truly think that. I mean, everyone's saying they think NC State showed UConn the recipe to defend Edey and force him away from the free throw line, make him make plays. We all know that they call him a free throw merchant. I've heard that a lot. He gets to the free throw line. That's how he has his success. I mean, this is going to be a battle on the glass between Zach Edey and Donovan Clingan. I think UConn's going to get their points and going to have success. I just think we're in for one of the best national championship games I think we've seen in a couple of years. Probably back to that Final Four where we had all the blue blood schools, I'd say. Was that the year Kansas won?
When?
I mean, what was that? 2021 when it was like Duke, UNC, and then Kansas, someone else in the Final Four.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because everyone was freaking out when Duke and UNC played in the Final Four. I think UNC might have won the game. I think Kansas beat UNC that year, but this is the first time we've gotten 2 1 seeds to the final or to the national championship, and I don't even know how long. Definitely not this common. I think a lot of people overlooked this Purdue team. Kind of looked into that 16 seed loss that they had last year in the first round. And kind of overlooked them. And everyone obviously is big on UConn. The money's coming in heavy on these Huskies, and I'm big on Purdue plus the points, and I'm going to sprinkle that money line as well. But definitely a full play on the spread. I really like Purdue to come out on top. I think they start the game fast. First half spread at +3.5. That could be an interesting play. I definitely think if Purdue is going to control this game, they need to start fast. They're not going to complete an 8 to 10 point comeback. So this spread's going to be tight. If they want to win this game, they need to get out to an early lead and not look back, which is going to be really hard to do. UConn, obviously, they've had a 30-point lead in every single March Madness game leading up to that Final Four game against who'd they play last round? I'm blanking.
Alabama.
They didn't have a 30-point lead against Alabama. They did against everyone else.
They haven't played them well. They played them really well.
Yeah, they won that game by 14. Alabama shot the lights out of the gym, and they still lost by 14.
Yeah. I mean, I think that says a lot about this UConn team per se, but Alabama gives up a lot of points as well. So, I mean, for them to even keep up in that game, they had to shoot the lights out of the ball. But at the end of the day,
you can't give up 86 points to UConn and expect to win if you're Alabama.
Oh, no way. Absolutely not. Especially with a defense like UConn. But, yeah, this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to come down to whether Edey is I don't even want to say that because I can't see him having a mid game. You're going to have to see a big game out of Braden Smith as well. It kind of runs through them. If he's shooting the lights out of the ball, then UConn could also be in a bit of trouble. But there's so many weapons on that UConn team. If Cam Spencer's not playing well, just go to Tristan Newton or Castle. If Clingan's not playing well, Carabin just going to shoot the lights out of the ball. They have 5 guys that they can trust up and down the court, and they have the best coach in college basketball right now in Dan Hurley. So, I mean, this UConn team is such a powerhouse. I think we're going to see a Purdue come out to an early lead, and you're going to see UConn fight back. And I'm not going to say that Purdue is going to upset them because I don't want to say anyone's going to beat this UConn team, but I think it's going to be close down the stretch, and Purdue's going to get their points down the stretch as well. They have the biggest man in the league. A guy who's 7'4", doesn't matter how well Donovan Clingan is playing, you cannot guard him. You have to foul him one way or another. So if he's not in foul trouble, Purdue's going to get their points. They're going to keep this one close, and I really, really do think that they have a chance of winning this game. But if UConn's playing their best basketball, nobody's beating them.
If Purdue, here I'm going to click back to the NCAA basketball because I kind of have a question on this for you. If Purdue wins this game, it has to go under, right? under that 143. It'll be a lower scoring, lower pace game. Purdue just kind of controls the glass, controls the offensive
Yeah,
rebounds.
because I think Edie's points are gonna have to mean more.
Yeah.
All of his points are gonna have to mean a little more. If he scores 30 points and they don't win, I mean, that's just on them. I mean, they have to figure that out. But if it's gonna, yeah, I think that's
if UConn scores
accurate.
75, 80 plus, this game's over for UConn.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna be a really good game, though. I mean, a lot of people did overlook this Purdue team. I overlooked them as well for good reason. We saw them go out in the first round last year with basically the same team, maybe even a better team. But
honestly, they had what was the point guard they had last year that got drafted? I'm blanking on his name.
I don't know. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna drive me nuts. Let me look this up.
It's not Jaden Ivey, right? He was 2 years ago.
Purdue. I think it was Jaden Ivey. Was that 2 years ago? Maybe
I think it was 2 years ago. Jaden Ivey was a dog, but I don't think that was last year.
What was last year? 2023. Let's look. Mason Gillis, Caleb for Jesus. That's a coaching staff.
But even so, I mean, as you're looking, I'll just keep talking.
Yeah,
the Purdue team taking care of business as well. What were they? 9.5 point favorites against NC State. All the money on NC State. Obviously, America's team. DJ Burns. All the hype going into that NC State team. Not a lot of hype around this Purdue team. I think it was America's pick to have NC State in this national championship game. But Purdue just took care of business. They were the way better team. They did what they needed to do, and they were never really in danger of losing that game. Purdue is here to win, and I think that they actually I think they have a good chance of winning this game, even being plus 250 on the money line.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I'm starting to think it was Ivy because it was. I'm not seeing anyone on the roster last year that rings a bell.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago at Jaden Ivey.
Because how long's Edie been there?
4 or 5 years.
Is he okay? So he is a senior / super senior.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say I got it confused with last year when they lost in the first round. It was definitely the year before. Whoever I'm thinking about, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is the best Purdue team we've seen, and they're just clicking at the right time. I'm definitely excited for this game. I hate that it's at fucking 9:30, but yeah,
I think that's insane. I think
it's because it's in Arizona too. But like,
but still, I mean, it's so Eastern Standard Time is Trump. It trumps every other time, I think. And when you have games starting at 9, it's a 9:20 start. Not going to start till at least 9:30.
I was going to say if 9:30.
People like if they gotta wake up in the morning, they're not gonna stay up for a national championship game. Like
if this is a blowout, I'm going straight to bed as soon as I'm like this is over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, we also got 2 games in the NHL tonight. Mackie, I'll kind of hop on these real quick because I already have it pulled up here.
Yep.
Penguins heading to Toronto, see if they can keep this streak alive and make that playoff push. Penguins plus 125 on the money line with the Maple Leafs at minus 150. The minus 1.5 for Toronto is plus 160, and the over/under at 6.5. Penguins, obviously one of the hotter teams in hockey. They're making that push for that wild card spot or / that third spot in the Metro Division, whatever is going to be open. Right now, as we sit here today, going into tonight, with the Penguins being the only one of these teams in the East that plays, right now the third spot in the Metro is held by the Islanders with 85 points. The Red Wings played. 77 games played. Good point. 85 points, 77 games played. Same as the Red Wings at 77 games played with 84 points. And the Penguins also at 77 with 83. The Capitals at 77 with 83 points. And the Flyers with 1 game extra played at 78 with 83 points as well. So this is definitely a tight race in the East. It's coming down to it. The big one, obviously, for the Penguins need to win tonight. It's tough to take them in Toronto. Toronto's one of the better teams in the East. I think they can come out on top. This team looks more motivated than they have all season. I'm not going to say they guaranteed win this game, but I definitely lean on the hotter team to come out on top, make that playoff push. Someone asked Crosby today, "Are you going to go outside and look at the solar eclipse?" He said, "No, that's during my pregame nap time. I have a game tonight, or I have something that means more than that." Or something. Dude, it was such a good Crosby answer. I was like, "Oh yeah, we're not losing tonight." So,
oh, they're down. They're in a stretch right now. He doesn't care about any eclipse.
Yeah, he's like, "Fucking eclipse? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, this Penguins team is playing great hockey. Obviously, Crosby and Malkin stepping up big time down this stretch. Nobody wants this last wildcard spot. Penguins are playing very good hockey right now, but a week and a half ago, you weren't even looking at playoffs. You thought you had no chance.
No, dude.
So the Penguins go on a nice 4-game winning streak. Everybody else is losing. Flyers losing. Caps losing. Caps are on a 6-game losing streak. Red Wings are playing all right, but they're like no one really wants this last wild card spot. Penguins are the hottest team right now. I think even if they drop this game, they're not in deep trouble. But I mean, winning this game would be absolutely massive. Then you have a few games down the stretch. I think you guys play the Islanders last game of the season, so
Yeah, we do.
I mean, these games are all crucial. It's going to be a good game tonight, though. If Crosby and Malkin keep playing the way they are, and you have Nedeljkovic and net playing pretty good hockey as well, so Leafs playing for a little less. They're already in a spot, probably almost locked up that 3 spot. I know the Lightning are kind of on their ass, but I don't really think they're in much of a. They're not really worried about them catching them, but I think there's value in the Penguins 24.
Leafs have 4 points on the Lightning, and they have an extra game to play.
Yeah, so they're not really in trouble. I mean, they can drop this game and still be in good shape, but yeah, I think the Penguins can actually give them a run for their money tonight.
Yeah, you guys are jumping in here finally. Oh my God, I have a tale to tell you once we get past the NHL quick. But this game, you want to know what's crazy to me? I cannot bring myself to bet on the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they're the smart play tonight. I'm not taking the Leafs, even though I think they're the better team. The Penguins are just on this run of destiny, just like going at it. It would be one of the most surprising stories of the year, I think, if they backdoor their way into the playoffs. They have Alex Nedeljkovic in yet. Yes, he's playing well, but he's not a playoff. If he's in your net, they gave up on the season by benching Tristan Jarry. Craziness, but they're one of the hottest teams in the league, going against one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Plus 125 is a good play tonight, in my opinion. I think they're going to backdoor their way into the playoffs because of Sidney Crosby. He took that nap today.
That's what we were talking about before you got on.
What? He's not. Yeah, I'm Sidney Crosby. What else do you expect him to do, though? You expect him to be on the solar
robot?
Watch? No shot. He's going to go out there and put 2 behind Sammy, who probably burnt his eyes.
You imagine Crosby walking around downtown Toronto in those dumbass glasses?
Yeah, he could never. Malkin maybe, but not Crosby. I mean, Samsonov's neck's going to be more burnt than his eyes, though, after this game tonight. I do think the Penguins are going to win. Can't bring myself to bet it. I haven't touched the Penguins on this whole streak, Hoff, so I'm not going to ruin for you.
Yeah, it's a bad time. It's a bad time to hop on.
Yeah. I mean, I love to say you bet with the streak until you miss it, but yeah, I think this is going to be a great game tonight, especially on a 2-game night slate. And Mac, you're right. The point race makes me think the Leafs don't have it locked up yet, but the game's in hand. It's just kind of nuts. So
the game in hand. I mean, the Leafs would have to go like basically 0-3 the last 3. If they lost this game, they'd have to lose the rest of their games, and the Lightning would have to win the rest.
But they're supposed to win these games though to make sure they have it. They don't want to be backs against the wall come the end of the season. And this is a pretty telling game, I think, for the Leafs come playoff time. I know they might not be as hyped as the Penguins, but if they can go in and lose this game, Penguins, a weaker team, expose them for things, and they give up these goals, weak defensively, can't really do much besides put the puck in the net. Then I don't know if that bodes well for the playoffs.
And then they got to hop in a series with either the Panthers or the Bruins. You're going to be in deep trouble. But being a Rangers fan and being like the number 1 seed in the East right now, having to play that second wild card, the Penguins are definitely the last team I want to see. I don't know if that's the Rangers-Penguins rivalry in the way that the Rangers match up with them. Yeah, because Penguins always kind of play the Rangers really tough, no matter what it is. But they are by far the last team I want to see out of like the Isles, Flyers, Red Wings.
I think it's. I get what you're saying with the Penguins and Crosby.
The Red Wings.
What'd you say?
Who would you want to see
the
the most?
Caps
by far.
Yeah,
or Flyers.
Flyers, and Wings are all in the same bucket.
Wings as well. I mean,
Mackie, I still think the Islanders are the scariest team that are left in the hunt because Ilya Sorokin versus Igor Shesterkin, you're going to get the rivalry matchup talk. And then if you guys lost that series, you know what it would be. It's because Sorokin's better than Shesterkin. And I don't think there's any chance. If I had to go against Pittsburgh, though, I would be very happy, especially with your goal scoring right now. My goal scoring, you said it in the chat today, 115 points for Artemi Panarin. They're beating Alex Nedeljkovic in a series. And God forbid Tristan Jarry comes flying through the door. You know the series is over when that happens.
Tristan Jarry. Yeah, I mean, when you say it like that, I mean, the Rangers also have 110 points. I mean, they shouldn't really be scared of anyone, but matchups happen.
I don't know about you. I'm not scared of that's why people are kind of weary of the Lightning. We're not scared of the teams without any goalies. But jumping over to the Western Conference side, I know we got the other game on the slate here. This team, that Canucks team, has really just been in shambles after their goalie woes. No Thatcher Demko. They got Salovs in net tonight. They're still favorites. I carded the Vegas Golden Knights. You guys like them tonight? I think they're going to win and get a little hot going into the playoffs.
I do like them tonight. Go ahead, Mackie.
I like them a lot as well, but this is also another very telling game for the Canucks. Canucks and Leafs are both in very similar spots where they're very good, but who's really taking them that serious? I don't think that they're cup contenders. I don't think the Leafs are cup contenders, but these are games down the stretch. These are basically playoff games for all these teams. They have to you have to have this momentum going into the playoffs, like getting wins against the Vegas Golden Knights. That's huge at home. I mean, without Thatcher Demko, you need to see with your backs against the wall. You have to see how this team performs tonight. I like the Knights as well. I think the Canucks are kind of frauds as well, even though they have all the star power up front. I think they still have a lot of weaknesses, and they're deep when you go deeper into their roster. But I think this game is very telling. I definitely do lean the Knights.
Is Logan Thompson still good? You guys remember when Eden Hill
I
went on
don't
that run? We
think-
forgot about him. He
I
was
don't-
like Rookie of the Year candidate last year.
I don't think it matters who the Knights put in net. I mean, we saw it last year. All
Yeah, I guess
all
that's
their
a valid
goalies that they
point.
have, none of them are like top of the tier, but they
I
can all
could
get
play
the job
net
done
in
with
front
that
of that
roster.
defensive core. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're loaded. And
Yeah,
the additions
exactly.
they made are already shining. Who's the one? Is it Sean Walker or does he go to Colorado, I think, actually?
I
But
think he was
still-
Colorado.
Yeah, but they still had some big pickups at the deadline.
Hannafin,
I want
Hurdle.
to
Noah
I
Hannafin
want to
was a
see
big
Hurdle
one.
play hockey for this team. I want to see where he fits in. I want to see Stone back out there. Love watching him. But plus 105 seems like a trap a bit. But I'm riding with Vegas. Probably all of the public's all over it. But Arturs Silvos, I think his name, Salov's in the net. Who the hell is
Silvos or
that?
Salovs, yeah.
Yeah. Who is that?
Yes.
He's not getting anything done.
Is he the guy from Anaheim?
No, that's
That's
what's his
Stolars.
name?
Lucas Dostal.
Stolars,
Oh no,
yeah.
Anthony Stolars is on the
Yeah.
Panthers.
Okay, he was on the Ducks, Mac. Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
I knew
Yeah,
exactly
he was
who you
on
were
the
talking
Ducks last year.
Yeah,
I think.
okay, still loves. Yeah, this guy's brand new.
Yeah, I bet against him already and hit on it. And they've been having trouble filling the gap without Demko. Casey DeSmith coughing up hairballs left and right. I don't know if Demko's coming back for the playoffs. I've seen rumblings of it, but they need him. Even if he comes back, is he going to be 100%? Going to be massive for a team that's very inexperienced, especially weak on the back end. I don't know if this team can play playoff hockey. They can win in a regular season game 77. You get to the playoffs, they're small guys like Quinn Hughes on defense. Those aren't the guys that win playoff games. Guys like Alex Pietrangelo, Braden McNabb are.
Huff, question. You have 3 potential matchups in the first round: Bruins, Rangers, or Canes. Who would you most likely, or who would you most want to have?
I'd probably want to play the Canes the most.
Really?
Because their goaltending was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I
with
thought
that.
you would say the Rangers just because of how you guys play.
It would probably.
But it's just Sturkin. It's just Sturkin,
Bruins
Quick,
always
and
little
Olmark and
brother us.
Swayman.
I feel like the order would go Canes and Rangers are probably tied. I wouldn't want to get the Bruins. Penguins
Just
play
because-
so bad in Boston. They always
Because
play bad
Huff,
in
you want to know?
And
You want to know
it's teams that
something?
you don't see
Huff,
as
the
often.
one thing you have going into the playoffs over everybody is the Crosby experience, and the one team in the playoffs that has more, like a lot of experience, like you
just
guys,
as
not
much
more,
as you
obviously.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we have Brad Marchand leading the way. I think they know what's going on.
And just even
But-
like recently, like you still have McAvoy, all those guys that have been
Pasternak,
deep in
Olmark,
the,
yeah.
You guys went to the Cup in 19. Like you still have a
Yeah.
lot of the pieces from that team.
Yeah, Carlo. We do have a lot of them. You're not wrong there.
And you have the goalies. I mean, you have the two.
It'll be
one-
interesting to see
the
though.
1-2 punch in the net. So
Yeah, that's why I think it'd be Canes for sure. I was talking about that earlier, but let me get to the story real quick of why I was late to the live stream. All right, I scheduled my insurance to come in for my phone. Assuring, they do their insurance for Verizon and AT&T. I'm like, all right, cool. They come in. The guy can even drop off my phone and set up for me. I'm like, awesome. Didn't think it's a 3 to 5 window. Guy gets here 4:55. He walks in. I thought it was just gonna be a quick little swap. But he is selling me everything under the roof. It will not stop going. I'm just like, oh yeah, no.
of course he
No.
walks in at 4:55 too. That's
Yeah.
how it always goes. With
To
stuff
give
like
no,
that.
but to give me the sale on everything under the sun. Great guy. Gonna give him a 5-star review. Not for me today though, at least. So I'm just trying to talk about some baseball. Like if you could have given me some picks, like maybe, like I don't know. But I got
He's on his way out. He's like, "Hey, take the Yanks tonight." You're like, "Oh, yeah, not a bad guy."
Yeah.
Now this is worth my time.
He would have known a little bit more about some World Cup soccer, I would assume. But good guy nonetheless. But
that was. You don't have to explain that one.
I'd
no,
rather
he
not.
is. You just told me about. He's from Egypt.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like he doesn't know what's going on in baseball tonight. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
you don't
would.
want you don't want his baseball picks.
No, like he just moved here from Egypt. I mean, he's got better picks on that than I do. But I do want to talk about some baseball. I wrote this down. I sent it to Huff. I have some plays I like and 3 really good games tonight. I don't know if you guys got to get into that here.
Yeah, I have the MLB pulled up. Good. What game you want to start with?
I want to start with your Buccos that are magically in our top 5 in the power rankings after the week 1 overreaction. No, I'm just playing with it. They're playing great baseball, and they're a young team. They're really hot, and so are the Detroit Tigers, a team I was high on coming into the year because of that staff they have. They got Reese Olson going against Mitch Keller. Your boy Mitch, veteran, he's a good pitcher. Didn't have a great start to the season, honestly. Reese Olson, on the other hand, he's a strikeout guy, lefty. He's going to be throwing hard for the Tigers tonight. I like the Tigers on the money line, but I wouldn't be mad if you bet against them and went with the hot Pirates. I'm not personally carding any of them, but for conversation's sake, I'm on the Tigers here just because I think Reese Olson's able to quell those bats a bit. Maybe the expectations getting a little too high. New series, they dropped the first game of the last series, the Pirates did. And Mitch Keller hasn't looked like your ace. It's been other guys on that staff. So I don't know if you guys have any takes on this. What do you think is going to happen in this one? But I think it's a low-scoring game here. And I think the Tigers are able to take it out. I like them on the money line.
Yeah, I am on the other side. I did take the Pirates here today. I think this is where Keller kind of finds himself. His first home start of the year. I'm excited to see what he can do, like you said, against a Tigers team that's also another, starting out hot. They've won some pretty good matchups. They haven't played the best of teams, kind of similar to the Pirates. Both have kind of better records than teams they've played. Or show, I guess you would say. I don't really know exactly how to word that so it makes sense, but. Two kind of pretty even teams, obviously. Pirates 8-2. What are the Tigers? Are they 7-3 as well?
6-3.
A 2-game series here. Keller going tonight. I do like the Pirates at home. I think this is a good spot. Another good test for us. We just went 2-1 against the Orioles, coming off a 2-1 series against the Nationals. You just got to get a win here tonight. I think they can handle it. I think this is where Keller comes out on top and at home and comes out on top. Nice start for the Pirates tonight, and they just got to keep things rolling. The one funny thing I did see on Instagram today was a picture of all the Pirates sitting in the dugout at PNC.
Sawinski
watching the solar eclipse, and Sawinski didn't have the glasses on, and someone immediately bet him to strike out his first
at bat. I saw that. I was going to send that to you guys too.
What automatic error? Can you?
It was like plus 210.
Dude, yeah, I was going to say, Mackie, it was plus 210 from the strikeout.
That'll be a good game, though. That'll be a good game. I like those two young teams. Another one that I thought was great on the slate tonight is actually two electric teams that we were both high on last year, high on coming into the season too, but they've been underperforming, both sitting at 4-6 to start. It's the Mariners going to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. They got Luis Castillo coming in against Jose Barrios. Line's pretty split, a little bit closer than the last game. Minus 120 for the Blue Jays here, a little under plus 100 for the Mariners here. Didn't know who you guys were looking at here. I'm not going to be touching this game, but who's going to spin their wheels first and get going? Is it going to be Toronto? Is it going to be the M's? I think the Blue Jays, after some wins against a hot Yankees team, better lineup, higher expectations. Let me know what you got about this one.
Mackie, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this Blue Jays team is better. Obviously, they're off to a pretty slow start, but Jose Barrios, you're going to trust him tonight at home. I'm surprised they're underdogs, though. Mariners coming in at minus 120. Obviously, it's a pitching duel in this one.
Barrios minus 120 for the Blue Jays, home team.
Oh, I looked at it backwards. Okay, so yeah, it's good line. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I could probably see this game going under, but I just think this Blue Jays team is definitely going to catch fire at some point. You could see both these teams in the playoffs come October, but this Blue Jays team definitely has a more star-studded lineup. I like Barrios tonight.
Barrios been pitching well. Big strikeout king. I know he had a down year kind of last year from his standards. Castillo, same thing. I think you see a lot of strikeouts in this game by both pitchers, both of the most free-swinging teams in the league. Mariners were like that last year. I bet a lot of props versus them. But Huff, jump in with your thought on the M's and the BJs here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do lean on Toronto here as well. I like the Blue Jays to come out on top, like you said. Two tough losses against that Yankees team. That's a really good Yankees team, top team in our power rankings coming into this week. Mm-hmm. They've played some great teams so far. Yankees, Astros. Who was the other matchup they had? Who'd they open up against? And I'm blanking.
The Blue Jays with the Rays.
That's right.
The Rays to open the season.
They've played three pretty good teams. Yeah, they're 4-6.
They're finally at home too.
Exactly. This is a team that started a long road trip. They're finally back home. Is this their home opener?
I believe it is.
Nobody wants to go to Toronto.
That's a crazy time.
It's not like a scary place,
but
it's a shitty place to go play baseball.
Nobody wants to cross the border, go hang out in Toronto for 3 days.
But I'll tell you what, I think if there was one team that is the most overrated out of these AL East teams, I think it's the Toronto Blue Jays. I know that they have Kevin Gausman, they have Jose Barrios leading the way, but even their top dogs sometimes get cold. The only Mr. Consistent on their team is Bo Bichette. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has that star potential, the power and all that, but it's not consistency. And the whole lineup breeds the same. George Springer, Biggio. I mean, I'm just not too sold on all their pieces. Jacob Turner even. I mean, he's pretty solid. And he's a new guy, though. Injury prone and old. I don't know how much he has left in the tank. But I like them to win tonight. I think they'll be competitive, competing all year for a playoff spot, but then just miss out of a wild card.
Yeah, I think I like this Blue Jays team a little bit more. The Mariners kind of woes to start the season have kind of worried me about them, but in this series or specifically tonight with this pitching matchup, I do lean on the Blue Jays to get the job done. But give me 1 second, I'll give us back to this MLB slate. What was the next one you wanted to get into?
Yeah, I have a rivalry game, and it might not look appealing if you look at early season records, but that's why you can't overreact. The Texas Rangers are playing the Houston Astros, the Battle of Texas, two of the best teams in the MLB last year, two of the top ones in the power rankings coming into this year. And I know that the Astros are only 3-7, but they just won again last night, and they're 2-0 when that guy Ronel Blanco pitches. He almost had a no-hitter last night. Did one last week in his.
He went 5 innings. I saw a
5.2.
I think
5.2 no hit though, and then he gave up a hit, and then they took him out after the inning.
I thought he got a quality start. You might be wrong. I thought quality start 6 innings, but
No, he pitched 6 innings, but he had a no hitter through 5.2.
Oh, through
and
5.2.
and let him finish the inning.
They let him finish the inning to get the quality start, and then they pulled him.
Yeah,
wasn't it Adolis or was it Semyon? One of the top guys ended up getting a base hit off him or a double. But he's been a mainstay, especially with the guys like Verlander on the shelf right now for them. But tonight they have their ace going, Framber Valdez. That's why they're minus 130 going against Andrew Heaney. He was pretty solid, strikeout king himself.
Is it Valdez going tonight? I saw that too, and now FanDuel here has Henley listed.
I see Henley as well.
Oh, it might have been a late scratch.
Henley.
I did my notes earlier today around noon.
Yeah, I did ace earlier.
Yeah, Rangers are minus 130 now.
I did see Valdez.
That's a big thing. I mean, Valdez, their ace. I wonder if he's an injury or sickness or what the case is. Somebody want to check like a fantasy app, quick, get an update on him. You'll probably see that.
I'll check. Let me check Yahoo. I'll find
that changes my line so much. I don't know. I think I lean towards the Rangers a bit more now. Or maybe
scratch with elbow soreness.
Oh,
that's not good news.
Yeah, Blair Henley recalled from AAA.
They need Justin Verlander back ASAP.
Yeah,
Valdez, that's a tough blow early.
Dude, how about the Braves? Strider has
Mr. Strider.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane Bieber, a team we were going to put in our top 5 power rankings this week.
Did you see that thing that like Tyler Glasnow said though about all this?
No, Mackie, I didn't watch that. What was that?
So Tyler Glasnow, maybe the most dominant pitcher in baseball, is talking about how everyone used sticky stuff. It wasn't like illegal. He said he used like suntan lotion and whatever the hell to mix it together, and it was a perfect
suntan lotion and sweat or something.
Yeah, and he said that everyone did it. It was no problem and everything. And then they wanted to bring all this ban in, and all these guys have to grip their balls so much harder.
It puts stress on their arms.
And it's stress on their arms and everything. And he said that he the first game after not using it, pitched fine and everything. That wasn't the problem. The next day, he was sore in places he didn't even know that he had muscles in. And he's sitting there and he's throwing 100 pitches. These guys can't take that anymore if they're not able to use substances that is less stress on their arm. It's not the fact that it's making them better pitchers. It's just the fact that it's less stress on an arm, that you're throwing 110 pitches, 95 miles per hour once a week. Like that's a lot of stress on people's arms. And when you're not used to it, it's gonna take a toll on all these pitchers. And you're seeing all these injuries. You're seeing all these season-ending injuries, Tommy Johns and everything. It's just not helping the game at all. On top of the pitch clock, you got to get it out of their hands a lot quicker and everything now. MLB, these rule changes are just not pitcher friendly whatsoever, and you're going to see a lot of these pitchers start complaining.
None of the rule changes benefit pitchers.
Yeah,
that's what they want. Offense sells tickets.
I mean, look at the NFL. Every the NFL just did. Yeah.
Every league doing that now. But yeah, some good stuff. I still think that's going to be a good game because Andrew Heaney, despite him being I picked him up in fantasy more so for the future than today. I still think that they're going to get hits. Altuve, Jordan, they've been smashing to start the year. I like Yonder Diaz. I like Pena. I like Bregman. I like what they got going on down there. You guys know how I feel about them if you listen to our pod. But that's going to be a great game to watch regardless of Valdez being out. Would have loved to have seen him shove tonight. But
they played last night, right?
Yeah, they did.
This is a makeup game because I was
going to say, why would Sunday Night Baseball carry over to Monday?
They played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They probably both had off today, and I don't know if they had a game Thursday that got delayed or. Yeah, I have no idea.
Last night,
I mean, the Rangers.
Last night I had the under in that game.
Unless they flipped their home series.
What do you mean? No, this is the last game of the series. They both.
All right. I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know if they flipped from
But
Houston.
they also
Texas.
both play indoors,
Texas,
so I don't understand why there would be like a weather delay or I don't know. I couldn't.
maybe
tell
it
you
was
why.
planned. It's just like travel schedule because of early season. But regardless, I wanted to get into my picks for tonight. Those are our unofficial picks for those games, at least. I sent in 3 plays on the card tonight. I have the Diamondbacks on the run line here, minus 1.5. They have a light matchup, and they have Zach Gallen pitching, who's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. His stats have shown that throughout. He's got a sub-1 ERA, he's 2-0 to start the year. That team has bats all throughout the lineup. Light pitching matchup today. I think they mash and cover the run line. That's sitting around plus 100, minus 105. I also have the Braves on the run line. How the hell can you not have them on the run line? They're starting here soon, right? They have another great matchup. Sorry, Mackie, against your Mets. They've started the season very, very poorly, and I like that team to start tonight. And then I like the Phillies on the money line tonight.
It's fun.
That team's playing good baseball.
It's funny with the Mets because we're on we won like 3 out of the last 4. Everyone's like, "Oh, the season might be turning around. Who do we got next? Oh, we got to go to Atlanta for 4 games. Nice.
The season.
It's like, all right, never mind.
Off. Yeah.
Start again next week.
What do you know, Mackie? Maybe you'll be texting us later, like, "Hey, we did it tonight.
Listen,
we're valid."
if we can maybe squeak out 2 of these games, that's a win. It's definitely a win.
Even 1, but yeah, I think tonight.
No,
first,
we don't get 1. I mean,
Mackie, first game of the series here, though. I think
4-game series. You want to win
4
2
games.
of those.
I think the Braves. I think the Braves are going to cover the run line here tonight to open up the series. And then my last pick is going to be the Phillies on the money line here. Great matchup for them as well. I think they continue to stay hot. That offense is rolling. I think the Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball. I wouldn't be surprised maybe a month or so, sometime in that span, we'll see them in our top 5 once again. Just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, depending on scheduling and who they see. But I think they have the potential to be right back where they were last year.
Yeah, you can call me a little biased, but I'm not high on this Phillies team. I think they're way overrated. People had them in top 4 power rankings before the season started. Not a hot start.
They're like 7.
Yeah. Wait, 7 what?
I'd say like if you just regardless of the first 10 games of the season, my season outlook hasn't changed based on 10 games.
Yeah, you can't change after 10 games.
But I think they're in that like 6 to 8 range. I have them at 7 maybe.
Yeah, I mean they're a playoff team, but I just don't see this team making a deep run like they were able to 2 years ago. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about my Mets, but we do have the lowest team ERA out of every team in the MLB, so it's just the bats that aren't going. Pitching's going well, and we don't even have.
We have the lowest team ERA, or it might be starting. That too, but we might be starting rotation actually, Mackie.
Oh, our starting rotation, like there's nobody over like a 2-4.
Same with us. Go check it out. I mean, Tanner Houck, Nick Pivetta, Garrett Whitlock, Brian Bayo, and Cutter Crawford. They've been pitching great to start the season. The good thing is the Red Sox, kind of like these Pirates, Huff and I have a friendly bet in case you guys didn't know of who's going to get more wins to end the season. I think it's just like $20, something like that. But it's starting off hot, 8-2 and 7-3.
Yeah, I did not expect it to be like this. I will say
the fun thing is Red Sox supposed to be a big market team, but we're kind of playing the same roster setup as Huff's team out there. We have a couple of big players. Maybe Raffy kind of offloads that. We have a couple other veterans, but our team is mainly young guys with a lot of hidden potential. You don't know if they're going to stay playing this well or they're going to get better or worse. So it's going to be a fun ride.
It's because the owners of the Red Sox are more worried about getting these Pittsburgh Penguins going on a playoff push.
Yeah, I guess they're spending all their money there. But I'll be going to these Red Sox soon enough. So excited to watch some more baseball. It's in full swing now. Hopefully the injuries can stop coming in for these star pitchers. But it's been fun to watch so far.
Ace, these Cardinals tonight don't scare you at all on their home field?
I didn't like them. I was no, I didn't like them tonight. I think they're. I like Turnbull. I think he's gonna have a good game pitching. I think is it Mikolas going for the Cardinals, right?
Miles Mikolas or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of tape on him, and he hasn't started the year too hot. So I like the Phillies.
What was pretty crazy to me we're 10 every team. Most teams are 10 games in. It looks like the Cardinals are the basement of the NL Central at 5-5.
And that's a good record too. I mean,
and that's also a division that you don't expect to be very good, and yet you don't have one team under 500. So,
but this is the one thing I'm going to say about this. I do think all teams do have potential in that division. Like all of them, they all have potential.
I like
but
this.
It's not like the AFC North where it's like it's super competitive, like the AFC North in football. But it's not like they're all elite teams. They're all middle of the road teams that get to play against each other and makes it good baseball. And they could beat to anybody or lose to anybody when it comes outside the division.
Especially, these divisional series, like when the Pirates play the Brewers, that's always a good series. Pirates, Cubs, it doesn't matter. The Reds any of those divisions, or any of those divisional teams.
All unproven. I don't know if you guys saw last night. I think it was Nolan Gorman. Would he pop off 2 home runs? So they do have the bats. Brendan Donovan hitting well for him too. Who do they have? Jordan Walker, some other good players out there. I like Helsley, their closer out in St. Louis. He's been hot to start the year too.
Is Aaron Otto playing, or is he hurt?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even follow him that much anymore. But he's good. I think he might have gotten something the other day. I got a highlight for him. I think he is playing.
Yeah, well, that's a solid slate of games we got tonight. I'm excited to get into it. College basketball national championship. Like we said, we got the Purdue plus the 7 and a half unit on the money line. There.
I'm scared of that.
Yeah, it's definitely sweaty, and we're gonna feel really stupid if it doesn't hit. So tail that with caution. If you only want to take one, I'd definitely take the points. Don't take the money line, and then come.
Oh, take the damn money line. Take the money line.
All right, listen, I guess me and Mac, you're on opposite sides of what to take if you only take one here.
I think Purdue. I think if this is like a 2-3 point game, Purdue's gonna win it.
I think that UConn handles the game, but I've been riding with you guys all year. It's tough for me to go against you, so maybe I go with the points and then do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Purdue is sharp. I can tell you that. It is the sharp play.
It's sad that before you guys released your play, I had the UConn bet already in because they've been covering the spreads all tournaments for 2 tournaments straight.
You can't.
That's why that's why we're gonna feel like idiots if it doesn't hit.
But you look so big brained if it does hit, and they're a good team. They can hang with them. Edie will do his thing. They'll get the ball on the post, but. This UConn team.
I'm looking at this stat right now on ESPN. The highest combined point differential in an NCAA tournament. This is the highest two teams have ever had combined. UConn and Purdue are plus 223 point differential.
That's crazy.
Like
that's disgusting.
So you can't go up early, or else it's over.
I mean, if Purdue's fighting back 10 points the entire game, I don't see it happening.
A nice lead for them though, and you never know.
If Purdue starts fast, they have a chance. They have a chance. If UConn goes up 10-2, I'm immediately worried.
UConn always goes on a big run in the last 4 minutes of the first half, though. Am I wrong?
UConn should literally just attack Edie the entire game. If he gets 2 fouls in the first 10 minutes of this game,
he has to play different.
Yeah, he has to sit, and this team just you're not keeping up with UConn without Zach Edey.
Mr. No NIL deal, Zach Edey.
Yeah, terrible.
But yeah, we got a good slate of games. Like I said, college basketball. You heard some MLB picks there. NHL. Anyone got any NBA picks, or are we good to get out of here?
Good for tonight, but I would like you guys to know I will be in the building tomorrow for Bruins Canes. So get that Bruins puck line bet out. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, well, we got like I said, good slate of games tonight. We will see you guys on Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday for the episode, and there are a weekly live stream for the NHL, NBA. Probably recap this national championship game, but. Yeah, other than that, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next week, or I should say this week. I'm not used to it being on Monday when we record, but yeah, so thanks for listening. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for the NHL NBA